What we do here is go back.
This is Eat and Drink, the mini episode, hosted by Ali Hassan and Marco Timpano. Some mature content and language may come up, so consider yourself warned. Now, get ready for Eat and Drink.
What a nice intro to our show. We never talk about the intro that we get.
It's lovely.
It's nice,
It's
eh?
calming.
It is. This is Ali Hassan in front of me.
This is Marco Timpano in your ears right now.
Oh, my goodness. In our ears. Sounds a little bit like A Handmaid's Tale.
That's grim after
Yeah,
the nice peaceful music.
It's
you,
true.
You know what happens to
There's
those
nothing
handmaids?
peaceful about the music. It's really rocking. I think
It
you're
is.
thinking the wrong music.
No. You played it for me earlier. I know
Okay.
which music you're talking
All
about.
right.
It is a little goofy, huh?
Yeah.
It's peaceful to me because it's my comfort zone.
Oh, okay.
I
fair
hear
enough.
it and I go,
There you
it's
go.
us. It's us.
We were just talking about social media and food.
Goddamn nightmare.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say this. I'm going to come clean. I hate taking photos of my food.
I know.
But I'm doing it more and more so that I can post it for our Eat and Drink Instagram account.
Sure.
So follow us on Podcast Eat and Drink. I don't know. Are you finding that you're doing that a lot more?
I'm doing it a lot more. I mean, but what hasn't changed is the apologies. I'm always like, sorry, can I take a picture of this? What I should be saying is, sorry, can I take a picture of this for our podcast?
Right.
Always be promoting the podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I should be doing. Now, that's the difference. But there's so many things in my life that, Facebook is like this too. I hate Facebook.
Right.
I don't want to be on it anymore. But it's like part of the job. Like as a comedian, if you're not findable on social media, it's like,
Right.
is this guy, if a tree falls in the forest, does anyone hear it? If a comedian exists not on Facebook, is he even a comedian?
Right.
This is basically what we're dealing with.
Sure.
So you're out there, but if it was up to me, I would just be on Instagram. I'll be honest with you. I would get rid of Twitter.
Yeah.
My health, my state of mental health would be so much better. And then, Facebook, I have trust issues with Facebook in a huge way.
Rightly so.
Rightly so.
But let me ask you this. Okay, you've got kids. Are they allowed to use their devices at the table when you guys are eating?
Oh, are you out of your goddamn mind,
Because I
Marco?
see it all the time. And I'm
That
not
is,
even criticizing people who do it.
Oh, I'd love if you did.
No, that's your job. But
I'm coming in hot in a second, okay?
Right. So you were hot right
I
there.
was hot in the cans,
Yeah.
too. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
It's
Yeah.
okay. So like I see it in restaurants, you've got a rowdy kid and parents are trying to eat and trying to keep the kid calm in restaurants. So they'll hand them an iPad or whatever
Sure.
and say like, watch your show, and they'll be quiet and whatnot. But I remember as a kid, we didn't have that option. We just had to be quiet and behave in
Right,
restaurants.
right.
So I don't know if the social media device is actually helping these kids.
Once we remove the back of the hand from society, these things weren't. How many times did you get hey, behave yourself?
Right.
No, I'm joking about that. Obviously, I'm not trying to bring back beatings, but I do think like if you start that at a young age, where here's this, then next thing you know, you have a 15 or a 16-year-old sitting with you who's on their device, and to me, that's just terrible. And people are like, oh, what's the big deal? What's the big deal?
Right.
I don't like this. What's the big deal?
No.
I don't like that at all because it does have consequences.
It certainly
so, for
does.
example, I will tell you, I was listening to a podcast. This guy was telling a story. His friend, she teaches drama at some college in the U.S.
Okay.
There is, you know who Anton Chekhov is? You know Chekhov?
Yeah, of course.
Famous
Yeah.
playwright.
Yes, Russian.
Russian playwright. He had some play.
Okay.
Can't remember the name of the play, but it has some very sexually charged content in it that upset some people to the point where they left the class.
Jesus.
And then they also said, can you change these scenes? Can you adapt them so they're not as triggering?
Right.
We're going to change Chekhov
Yeah.
because you didn't feel comfortable with Chekhov? I mean, I don't, like, where's that going to end?
Right.
And but why does that happen? That happens because we told people they can do whatever they want,
Yep.
and their feelings matter, and their
And then
voice matters, and everything matters and matters. So everything you do now does have consequences, including my kids at the table. And then one day, let's say my daughter
Sure.
has been on her phone most of her life, and I'm just the parent who's like, oh, these kids, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? They're
Yeah.
always on their phone. And then this partner has to meet some, she has some partner she's going to hook up with. She has to meet the in-laws, but she's, doesn't know how to have a human communication
Right.
with somebody older than her?
Sure.
What if she has a job interview? How does she do? And then that's why you have parents coming in and speaking on kids' behalves in job interviews and to teachers.
This is
and stuff like
insane.
that. It's insane. So
Yeah.
for me, it's all about looking ahead.
Right.
And I don't think it's overreacting. I don't. I used to think it was a little bit much. Like it's not going to, A is not going to lead to B, C, D, but of course it is.
Well, I'm noticing it too in restaurants in several ways. So I'm noticing that, you bring the food to people and then they don't eat the food right away. They're too busy taking a photo. And it drives me crazy with my in-laws because when we're at a restaurant, they want to take a photo. But they always want to take the photo when the food comes. And by the time the waiter gets the camera and is able to figure it out, and because my mother-in-law,
they want themselves to be in the photo as well.
It's like, okay, so I'm having dinner with my in-laws. We're at a restaurant. My mother-in-law brings out a camera, 4 pixels, so you can just imagine
4 pixels is great.
And hands it to the waiter, and it's when the food comes, and I'm like, I just want to eat.
I love the idea of every single family photo. There's 3 people saying cheese, and you just looking at the food every single picture.
And the worst is this. So the waiter's got to figure out how to use a camera now.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not a phone, it's a camera.
No.
You got to hold with her camera. You got to hold the button down for a few seconds before any shit happens, and then I'm always on the end, Ali. So I'm turned. I look like a monster in all these photos.
Yes.
It's just the most unflattering angle. They're taking it. The food's getting cold. Not one picture's taken because then my wife is like, here's my camera. Let's take one with my camera. And I'm like, how long do I have to sit with this food in front of me taking fucking pictures like I'm Naomi Campbell at a Vogue shoot? Like enough. Enough with this, right? I just want to eat. It drives me insane. And it's like, we can't do this as soon as we sit down, or we can't do this after the meal, or at dessert. You want to take pictures with dessert on the fucking table? I'm more than happy. But as soon as the waiter brings the food, can you take our picture? The worst possible fucking time.
Communication, buddy. Communication. Before you enter the restaurant, you turn to your mother-in-law and you go, Diane or Mom or whatever you call her.
Yeah.
Val.
Yeah.
Val, listen.
Yeah.
Not taking the picture when the food arrives. We take it right now, as soon as we get in, or at the end. All right? We're all agreed? Because if you take a picture of me, it's going to be with me shoving forkfuls of food in my mouth.
I'm just going to eat. I'm just going to eat. I think they like taking pictures.
You got to become that person.
Yeah.
Then you know how Marco is.
Yeah, he likes.
How Marco is. You can't take a picture with Marco. You got to take it at the beginning or the end. Now you're that lunatic. You're that inflexible guy. And that's
with my in-laws, that's how it is. Once you're labeled with them, it's always like, oh man, it's Mandy's in town, so she does things different. It's like she was 12 when she did that. She's no longer fucking 12, and you keep throwing that shit in my wife's face. It's like, it's insane. It's insane. I love them.
Yes.
But, it's one of those things that drives you crazy, right? And I see it happen, too, when I'm serving food. And they're like, can you take our picture? And it's like, now is the worst time for me to take your picture because I'm running around. And I've got others, like your food just hit the table. I've got 4 other tables that their food has to hit the table. So I'm going to take the shittiest picture because I got to be fast and quick and run, right? But if you get me as soon as you sit down or towards the end of your meal, I'll set it up. I'll stand on a chair. I'll make everybody look great. I'll stand on a chair, give you a nice angle. But what I'm also noticing is that people, because of their sort of use of social media, they have this expectation when they come into restaurants where they can have whatever they want. Like, for example, I had someone say, can I get a Greek salad? Now, I work in an Italian restaurant. I'm like, no, I don't have Greek salad, right? What about a spinach salad? And I'm like, look at the fucking menu. Does it say Greek salad or spinach salad? You can't just get whatever salad you want.
And when you don't give them the salad they want, there's probably a Yelp review coming that's very negative.
Oh, she kind of snipped at me. Oh, you can't do a Greek salad? I'm like, bitch, we don't have feta in this restaurant.
I would love if that was the exact interaction.
That's what I was thinking.
Yelp is going to hear about this. It wouldn't be good.
Like, it's anyway. Like we have olives and we have tomatoes. We don't have cucumbers right now. And so what do you want? Do you want an olive and cucumber salad? Is that what you want? And we have to like chop up a tomato. It's just like
next time you go, sure, and you take some mozzarella di bufalo.
Yeah.
And then one of the chefs can use the sweat from his armpit to salt that mozzarella.
There you go.
And go, this is our homemade back-of-the-house feta. Thank you. It's delicious. That's what you get. You get an armpit sweaty mozzarella feta Greek salad.
I'm actually surprised how much the restaurants actually do to cater to people's whims.
But it's such a slippery slope. You
Yeah.
start doing that, and it's like, where does it end? But you know how it is when you have big spenders and regulars. You go, okay, fine,
Yeah.
we'll do it for this person. They spent probably $10,000 in this restaurant
Sure.
in the last 3 years. Okay, we got to
do
it.
something. Yeah.
But then somebody beside them goes, oh, they're getting that. We'll also
We'll have that too.
We're
yeah.
also VIP. No, you're not, motherfuckers. No,
Or-
you're not.
We had this last time. Last time the chef did this for us.
Oh yeah.
You
I
know,
know.
we went. And it's like, all right, I'll ask, and and then you're the one who the chef kind of like, what are you doing? What are these people? They start getting mad at you and like, look, I just serve these people. You want to make the changes? Make the changes. You don't? I'll tell them. Sorry, we don't do that, and I'll say it with a smile on my face.
I encourage everybody who wants things done very particularly to move to the West Coast. That's what I think, because there it's like that's just been the culture always.
Right.
I don't know if I told you this when I was in Victoria.
No, this is
and
in
I was
British
doing
Columbia.
the whole. Victoria is the most the most western major city, let's say, in Canada.
Sure.
Right? It's on Vancouver
Yeah, I'll
Island.
buy that,
It's
yeah.
off, and it's. A lot of known for a lot of hippies, senior citizens. What is it?
Nearly dead.
Yeah. Just wed and nearly
there
dead,
you
something
go.
like that, right? Recently wed, nearly
Right.
dead.
That's right. Yeah.
But I found it to be extremely health conscious. Like these quote unquote nearly dead people were out walking me on the hill with
yeah.
a turmeric smoothie in hand. I was like, these guys aren't dying anytime soon. I'm the guy at risk of collapsing on this hill right now. So I found it to be very healthy. But I was doing this Whole 30
Right.
when I went there, and I was like, listen, I'm sorry. Can I get this salad, but instead of this dressing, could it just be lemon and olive oil?
Right.
And the waitress was like, yes. I'm confused as to why you said, I'm sorry. I go, I just didn't mean to be picky. She goes, you're in Victoria, honey. That's maybe the least picky thing I've heard all
Wow.
day. Yeah. So I was like, oh, great. Perfect. I needed like one or two things subbed in the salad.
Sure. Not a
Not
problem.
like instead of this, can I have this, but can it just not be there? No
Right.
cheese, no dressing. But instead of the dressing that you usually make, can it be a different dressing?
Right.
And I felt bad about that. I'm
Sure.
like, I know you're trying to make a certain, but yeah, she was like, that is, you're a dream, basically, right? So anyway, that's the home for you people.
Now, when you're out with your wife, does she take pictures of the food?
Never.
Does she look at you with a
She
crooked
looks at
eye?
me, she goes, are you going to take a picture? Like, do we have to go through that bullshit again? It's that kind of thing.
Okay.
But the line would be for work, honey.
Yeah.
For the goddamn podcast.
Yeah.
What do you... Content, honey. I need content over here. And, a sign of a great restaurant to me is when I forget to take the
Yeah.
picture. And that happened the other day in a restaurant where the first two the two dishes that came early, the appetizer and the salad,
Yeah.
I took pictures. They were so phenomenally delicious.
Right. And beautiful, I bet.
And beautiful.
Yeah.
And by the time the third thing came, which was this rice and then this other flash fried cauliflower, I had forgotten about pictures because my mouth wanted the next food more than my eyes and brain were thinking social media.
Sure.
So anyway, little goals for restaurants, huh? When
There
you
you
make
go.
people forget about their camera. Now you're doing good stuff.
Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
I forget, too, sometimes. Like, I'm like 3 bites in. I'm like, oh, now it's going to look like hell.
Exactly.
But I'll still take the picture.
We're also gluttons. I actually had an idea once. I was like, maybe I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to have an Instagram page of eating meals. So it's just empty plates
Oh.
with a couple of like scraps on it and a
Yeah.
fork. And I was really like, I'm going to do this. Just I'm a comedian. I
Sure.
shouldn't be taking pictures of food, right?
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was like, this is stupid. I'm
It
obviously...
look like a crime scene, right?
You look like...
Well, I made the mistake of taking a picture of a cappuccino and putting it on my Facebook, or not on my Instagram, on my personal Instagram, and writing, this is a cappuccino. And I would do that because I was working with a guy who would make the most wonderful cappuccinos I've ever had in my life, right? And then friends of mine were like, oh, you got to do that more. You got to do that more. So I started doing that. Now, people will come up to me and be like, how come I haven't seen a cappuccino picture in a while? Or they'll tag
Really?
me, or they'll take pictures and they'll tag me in it, or they'll send me a picture and say, is this a cappuccino? And now I've got to answer them and be like, all right, it looks like it has the right amount of foam, but it looks like it's in a big vessel. It looks like it's too much. And it's like,
Marco, the
what am I-
cappuccino authority.
I'm telling you.
Timpano.
You
Look
got
at
it.
you. Look
You
at
got
who you
it. Yeah.
became.
I'm
That's
t-
great. One picture, and all of a sudden, this guy knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Because he said something about something. So
well,
therefore,
let's be clear. I do know my stuff when it comes to cappuccino.
says you.
No,
buddy,
no,
you
I know my
I-
stuff.
yeah.
Trust me. But okay, so this is winding up our mini episode on social media and food. Send us your best or worst Instagram pictures of food.
Yeah, or stories about times where you didn't want to take pictures, or if you don't. What I want to know is if you don't take pictures, what's the rationale?
Yeah.
What's the reason? Is it just simply I just want to enjoy the food? I don't need to remember this.
Right.
That's the other thing. We've turned every single meal into an event.
I know.
It used to be like somebody comes back from vacation. Oh, this is this. This is this. Every single meal is that.
Yeah.
But now we have a place to put them too. We're not boring people at home.
How important is it to you when you're in a different city, when you look at the restaurant that you might go to, look at their pictures on social media of their food? Do you do that?
I sometimes do. Yeah.
And will that sway you one way or the other?
Well, yeah, like if I go to a restaurant's page,
right,
and it's as many people as it is food, and the people all look like the same group of people who went and attended Firefest in that documentary,
right,
I'm not going to that restaurant.
Oh,
So
wow.
sometimes they are.
You're a snob.
I'm racially profiling.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey,
it's
listen.
not snob. It's like this is not what I want. I don't want to be. I'm not there to be seen and like what are you wearing? Man,
Right.
I'm going out for dinner. Does this have to be Dior, or can I put on a hoodie? Like, come on. I'm going there for the food. So if there's a focus on food, if there's a focus on something a little bit, I don't like a box restaurant. We've talked about
Right,
this
no,
thing. You
no,
drop
there
the
was-
box of the.
Yep.
We all know the names of them. I don't have to shit on them
No.
here and now. I will, obviously, but I.
No, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to, somebody says that we focus on fresh ingredients, from our farm in whatever, Northern Ontario, we have a farm we grow. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Or we do homemade, the dough comes imported from Italy. We do homemade everything, nothing
Sure.
oh, okay, that's interesting. Today I went to a place called Maiz. Maize is, corn,
Right.
and everything, almost every single thing is made from scratch, very, very corn-based. I was like,
Okay.
we'll try it. I don't know. I get excited about somebody doing something different, and it doesn't sound like it's all for money and for shine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like. So Instagram has helped me. I got to say, it does help.
Cool. Well, there you go. Okay, so I don't know where we sit at the end of the day on this social
Well,
media.
we both hate doing it. We
Yeah.
both reluctantly take pictures. We're both a couple of gluttons who love food.
Yes.
And we want to get to the eating. And as we've talked about this, it is a multisensory experience.
It most certainly is.
Your eyes should be able to, and it's no different from the concerts. You put your phone up. Are you really enjoying the concert now?
Well, yeah, that drives me
'Cause your
nuts.
phone is your focus, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to be looking at this, and that's actually a layer in between your eyes and the experience. It's a filter. I feel the same thing with food. Like we're so quick to reach for our phone that our enjoyment level is going in a different direction. Whereas if you really enjoy, and I always eat with my eyes first, so I enjoy what it looks like. You get a chance to enjoy the smell coming off of the presentation, the whole thing, multi-sensory, the way it's served. As soon as you're reaching for your phone first thing, when you see the waiter or waitress coming towards you, you've already eliminated some of those natural pleasures.
Especially if
of
you're
eating.
out with people, right? It's a social interaction, a social event with your friends.
Yeah.
And there's that barrier once again, even if it's just for a moment where you take something out.
Yeah.
And you all of a sudden sort of zone yourself out from
Sure.
conversation to focus on taking that photo.
Here's what I enjoy.
Okay.
Here's what I enjoy.
Okay.
Last thought
Yeah.
from me.
We'll end on this.
My final thought anyway.
right.
You can have another thought.
No, I
if you
won't. I won't.
Here's
I'll
what
keep
I
my
think.
mouth shut. I'll keep my bitch mouth shut like that woman should have. Okay.
Oh, wow. You're not really over it, are you?
No,
Oh,
I
this
won't
Greek
be.
salad thing.
No, this
will
was like
haunt
3
you
weeks
till
ago.
you're-
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is
My final thought
right.
on the matter. I love going out in a group of people
yeah.
and somebody else takes out their camera and I get to go, oh, for fuck's sake, you idiot. And they take the picture and then I go, send me those later. That's my favorite. Like somebody's going to take pictures. We're going
course
to be at
they
a
are.
group of 5,
Yep.
6. No one's going. Somebody's going to, and it doesn't have to be me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy about
There
that.
you
Some
go.
people do it proudly. They own it. I'm
Sure.
like, hey man, I do this, and then people come. Good for you.
And on that note, send us those pictures
Yeah.
later, folks. Send us those pictures you got.
I mean, you've already taken them. The damage has been done. So now
Tag
send
us on
to
them. Let's see what you got. All right, that's our episode.
All right. Enjoy your life, your food, and your social media until we eat again.
That was Eat and Drink, the mini episode with Ali Hassan and Marco Timpano. If you have a topic, cocktail, food item, or segment for what's in Marco's mouth, email us at podcasteatdrink@gmail.com. Again, that's podcasteatdrink at gmail.com. Until the next one, Forks out.